Hi everyone and welcome to another Ask Aleksandra. Are you ready for today's 3 questions? So I wanted to talk about the idea of a touch of spice. Something that I often go back to is the ex-editor in the 1950s and 60s of Harper's Bazaar, Diana Vreeland. Brilliant. The documentary The Eye Has to Travel is all about her life. It's really extraordinary. But one of the things that she often says is to add a touch of spice to your wardrobe. And I really love this adage. I often translate it as, something a little ugly or something that's not really your taste. And it's a really easy way of just livening up your wardrobe and making it feel fresh and contemporary, which is especially relevant when we get a little bit older and we don't want to look like mutton dressed like lamb. It's one of the most common issues that I hear with my clients, even though I hate that expression. So I have a confession to make. I have a bit of an issue with sunglasses. Now, these are from Aleksandra Olenska from a collaboration that she did with Cutler and Gross. I think they're quite fabulous, but they're also a little bit ridiculous. They're my touch of ugly here. They're just something a little bit fun, a little bit contemporary, that makes my very classical outfit a bit more fun and adds that touch of spice, as Diana Vreeland would say. But to be honest with you, I never feel 100% comfortable wearing sunglasses. I always feel a little bit like, I'm trying to be a movie star or I'm trying to be mysterious, I'm trying a little bit hard. So I've been trying to embrace them recently, especially in the winter sun like this. It's just incredible. In the summer, of course, I feel a lot more comfortable wearing sunglasses. But I find that there's something quite defensive about them as well. That it's almost like you're putting up a shield in front of other people. So I'm not 100% about wearing them. But they're a lot of fun and it's good to challenge ourselves to get out of our comfort zone, isn't it? Especially when we get to 40 and beyond, and to try new shapes and to try fun things and inject that touch of spice into your wardrobe. I've got a little sensitive nose. I used to have terrible sinusitis, and one of my favourite things is not very glamorous. It's Kleenex balsam tissues. They are so soft. I don't know what they do with them. And, my skin just gets drier and drier the older I get. Sometimes it feels like you need a whole ocean of hydration. They're just fantastic. And I always have these in my bag. I've just got this book, which I haven't quite read yet, but I love this idea that fashion is the daughter of capitalism. Gosh, wow, what a statement. So there's a lot written at the moment, and the industry that I've been working in for over 20 years is really trying to discuss sustainability because, of course, fashion is one of the least sustainable practices in the whole world. The figure is often touted that it's the second biggest polluter. So at the recent COP conference, various fashion brands and the fashion industry has promised to reduce emissions. However, in this whole fashion system, the aim is to keep increasing profits. And how do you increase profits if you don't keep increasing desire and consumption? In my own personal values and way of seeing fashion, I'm much more interested in style, which, as you know, is more about the way that you express yourselves. For me, it's about how we express your soul through style. And therefore, it's about using the principle that many French women have, which is of having, a wardrobe that you build over the years. You don't go and buy something new all the time. You add to your wardrobe slowly, you build on it, and that you really build it with intentionality. And that every day you wake up and you dress with intentionality and you do your skincare routine with intentionality. It takes just as much time to give yourself some love and massage in that face cream as it does to slap it on and zigzag your toothbrush across your teeth. So I love this idea that we can just introduce things and really consider what it is that we're going to add to our wardrobes, rather than just mindlessly buying on impulse to feel good. Generally, we all know that we need to decrease consumption in order to save the planet. Now, I'm not a green warrior and I'm not as sustainable as I could be, so I'm intrigued to read some of the ideas in this book. I've certainly enjoyed books on this subject before, namely Kate Fletcher's Fashion and Sustainability, where she talks about building a more circular economy for fashion. And remember that the issue of sustainability in fashion isn't just limited to the fast fashion brands. Maybe you recently saw the documentary on the Chinese brand Shein, where they look at the human cost of mass production and the fact that a lot of these clothes can't even make it into secondhand shops afterwards because the quality is just too bad. So I do believe in the adage of buying less and buying better quality, or whatever quality you can afford. That doesn't mean that you can't buy pieces from the high street, but it's to buy them thoughtfully and intentionally. There are also some fashion brands, you know that I love Gabriela Hearst, for example. The store in London is really beautiful, and even the store itself has an integrity in terms of sustainability practices. A lot of the leather that the drawers are lined with, for example, and made from is made from offcuts of bags and leather manufacturing, and still it manages to be luxurious. So I think these two things, are not necessarily contradictory. And also Gabriela Hearst has now become the creative director at Chloe, the French fashion brand, which has become the first B Corp. So it's really huge in terms of sustainability. It's really interesting what she's doing. She's working with artists and artisans in Uruguay. She's South American and she has a lot of connections out there. Now, of course, inherently, the minute you make something abroad, it's not going to be 100% sustainable because products have to travel. And then there's packaging involved and all the rest of it. So yes, there are a lot more local means of production that that brands can be doing. However, it's also incredible to be supporting artists and artisans around the world and maintaining craft, which I think is also really important in this world of mass manufacturing. So Chloe is doing brilliant things with regards to sustainability. And of course, Stella McCartney was one of the first brands to really talk about sustainability on a really big scale. Stella McCartney, of course, the daughter of Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, who of course was a famous vegetarian and sausage maker in the 1960s. So you can see where Stella McCartney has got that passion for sustainability from. I love Stella McCartney's silhouettes. So easy to wear. You can see it's a woman designing for women. Very comfortable clothes, great silhouettes. Always feels like a little bit modern, but still classical. So great for building your wardrobe slowly with. I would say that the quality, I prefer the quality of Gabriela Hearst and Chloe to Stella McCartney. I'm not sure it's always 100% there with Stella McCartney. And also, she does a lot of research into the fabrics, but there is some synthetics going on there, which aren't my favourite thing personally. We know that many of the big houses owned by big conglomerates also have sustainability targets. I think one of the biggest problems that we're seeing in fashion at the moment is that within that we're also seeing a lot of greenwashing going on. Somebody said to me the other day, greenwashing? What on earth is that? So greenwashing is just this idea of using environmental awareness or using sustainability to market products. Yes, it's terrifying, really. It's this idea of, for example, fast fashion stores where they say, oh, you can bring products back and we'll give you a gift voucher and we'll recycle your old product. Well, that's all very well and good, but actually, is that recycling process sustainable in itself? And actually, they're just encouraging you to spend more in those stores. So I think we all have to be responsible for our own beliefs and values with regards to sustainability and to find our own way through it. But I think definitely consuming less and playing with your wardrobe, right? Shopping your own wardrobe, using my Simple Style 6 videos maybe to inspire and guide you is a great starting point. But of course, it's up to you to decide what sustainability practices you want to include in your own life and wardrobe. So let me know, what are your sustainability beliefs and how can we all help the world together in this new global economy that we've got? Merci and thank you for watching. Au revoir.